Welcome back on Dinobot. Today I want to propose you a video about
the unboxing review about the sixth and last of the Dinobot of the core of the legacy evolution. So this one that is Snarl, or otherwise called Stego. This I have to say that it's the worst that I see as shipping because it's not so treated quite good. Still, I hope that I can repair a bit such one, because once that I opened it's not technically a problem, and it's one of the mods that I never had before, because it's one of the few Dinobot, but one of the Dinobot that I hadn't had, and I quite like. Sincerely, I quite appreciate. So about this, I want to remember you that you can see in the playlist in the description also the other ones. So there is the one about the playlist Transformers, and I quite mocking because Hasbro made such thing about the ecosystem and so on, so that to save with using paper, not anymore plastic. Or the other ones, it's so, because unboxing them we have seen that they have such one, but these, other than having such an aesthetic window, you can see that there are plastic here, 1, 2, that take these parts. So okay, only the last one you missed such thing. Okay, sincerely I prefer when it's all closed, but okay. Anyway, thanks to this we can go to see about the box itself. Sincerely, if you want to throw away the box, I suggest you to keep the images because they are really quite nice in my opinion, and I quite like such ones. Here we can see the version. So this that is the alternative mode, the Stego version, and this is the robot mode, and they're both quite amazing. This it's one of the best, and we see because I make also a comparison with the other ones. So here we had the last of the legs of Volcanicus, so we can see finally Volcanicus completed, and the only thing that is missing is to open this and have fun, because I was really waiting for such model. Here we are the instruction, so we can see, and I always suggest you to keep such ones because you could use them as a referral or eventually to try something else change, but you can see the different type of conversion, so you can really have quite a lot of fun about. And see here the alternative mode to put this as a leg of Volcanicus and so finish Volcanicus itself. And so it's really quite nice also to have as remembering. Here it's the guarantee. So now we can go to see about such model. So here the model that it's like this. So we have here the sword, and it's the only one that has the sword. Here this that will go to the backpack, but technically we can try to use this also like a shield. And so we have only 2, 3 these from the plastic, not the paper, the plastic. Okay, and here you could use this part as a sort of background or so on. Anyway, it's really quite nice. So let's free it and have fun. Free the So here are the model of Snarl, otherwise called Stego in Italian. So here we can see that we have this that should go behind here, so it's not a problem about, but you could technically use these holes to put and create a sort of backer shield here. So as you can see, it's not the best maybe, but you can use like this. And here you have this that it's the sword. So you had the only worry about all the Dinobots, because it's only to have not a shooting or not shooting weapon, but a shield and the sword. So okay, it's a fan made maybe, but it's really quite nice to see. And as we can go to see, we can find that it has quite a lot of articulation, because it has like this. Technically only swoops has such articulation, so it's quite nice because you can see you can move quite a lot. Also the head that obvious. Here you have this, the breast that can be changed here like this, so it's really quite interesting. About the holding, we can find behind here that it's not so great. Anyway, it's not a problem because technically you have this part that goes here, so it's covered, so it's not a problem at all because it's like this. And anyway, also behind here you can find that you have these pieces that technically are not bad, because if you see technically, okay, here you have the head of the Stegosaurus, but technically it's less old than all the other ones. So also here we have the detail about, so it's not bad at all. The only real holes are these ones, and sincerely, because what it is, I can even appreciate. Okay, these ones about detail, I don't even need to think because they are, and it's quite simple anyway. So here we have really quite intriguing things to think about, and I think that if we go to see about the robot mode, maybe it's one of the best of the Dinobot core that we can see. So it's not bad at all. So here we can see all the 6 Dinobot core to create Volcanicus core, and in the robot version I think that they are really quite amazing. They are almost the same as High, a bit more, a bit less, but they are really quite nice. It's strange that this is the only one without any weaponry, that it should have the subs land it at least one of the weapon eventually, but they are really quite intriguing because they are self-sufficient, because that technically the only thing that it's a weapon that it's not perfectly positioned, it's the sword of this model that it's Snarl, but at the same time it's perfect inside, so you can use, so it's not a problem at all. And I really quite appreciate such things because as you can see they're really quite personalized. These are the 5 original one, this is the additional one, so it has substitute what has been slash then that has been added to the Dinobot, but I quite like such thing because they're really quite amazing. I'm really quite appreciate a lot. Sincerely, I had to judge. I think that this is the worst in the way that it's the most useful because both two, the Sludge and Slug, are the ones that let you have the core of Volcanicus, so it's the basic. The other ones are something that are the most amazing in the one about the Rot version and in the alternative version, the Dinobot version, but sincerely in the way that they are not so great as arms and legs, but at the same time they are really quite amazing. I love such one. So now we can see this in the robot version that I quite appreciate, and then we can go to see about the Dinobot version. So here I have the alternative version, the mod of the Dinobot. So it's not bad at all. I quite like the details about here, the metallic part. About this red part a bit less, but it's not bad. To notice the head, it's under here. Instead here we have this that it was in the legs. So it's with the symbol of Autobot, and it's not bad at all. If you think about it, it's really quite intriguing. The real thing that I don't like quite a lot is that these parts are fixed, so okay. And about the legs, you should keep them out of this to be able to move a bit. So it's a bit fixed about, so anyway, it's something that anyway it's quite nice. And it has this fixed mouth, so it can't be open. It's a bit of pity because okay, but it's not a problem. Here we have the sword, so it's something that it's put, it's not visible, and it's perfect in such a way, because if you think about you don't have any problem. It's a pity here that you have such little holes, because okay, under here, okay, you could think that it's anyway something not simple, but okay. Here it's a bit of pity. This part it's really not the best. Otherwise, the model would be not bad at all compared to the others. So it's something that I really see for. Eventually, the sword you could put also here, because anyway there is such thing. So eventually you could put this and put here. So a sort of ray. Okay, it's up to you decide if you want to try something different eventually, but still it's really quite an amazing model. I love such model. So here you can see all the robot in the Dinobot mode, and sincerely I quite like all of them. Sincerely I had to maybe make a sort of rating about them, because they are really quite amazing. I love such ones, and sincerely if I had to graduate based on the usable part, the liking part, the accuracy part, it would be quite a lot of difference. About this, the accuracy, it's a problem, because technically it's not one of the original ones, but they are really quite nice. I quite like this. I continue to think that it's a bit too small for it, but all the other ones are simply amazing. I love such models, and as you can see the sizes are really quite compatible, and they're really quite amazing things to play with, because that you play in the robot version or in the Dinobot version, they're really quite nice. The only thing that I'm missing and I'm going to do is to make them in the Volcanicus version, so go! So you have had the right leg of Volcanicus. Sincerely, I find it really quite small. Okay, I'll try to see if I can change some things eventually, so that I can be a bit better, higher and so on, but I have to pay a bit of attention. So as you can see, we have this model completed. So now we have only to assemble this and see the things. Even if seen like this, it's really a bit of pity. It seems like a bit forced to create such thing. And so I need only to combine Volcanicus, the parts that I have yet, with Snarl. So to put like this, and we have the model. So here I have this one. Sincerely, I don't find it really quite balanced, but okay, I remove a bit of this. Anyway, this could be put eventually here, so it has also a little sword about, okay, more than a sword, a sort of dagger, okay, and really, okay, it's a bit of pity about this. There are some details that sincerely I don't like quite a lot, because there are quite a lot of holes here and here. The leg, sincerely, I prefer to make such thing, so to make that there are higher, and it will be much better. The only thing that it's problem is to find some way to fix this behind, so that it's much better, because you can play with them but at the same time have some fun. And really, if you think about if it says the option about being such higher. I think that it's much better as positioning and so on, and it's really something that I appreciate much more about. So eventually we can think about having some sort of personalization in such a way, and I quite like it. Still, it's an option anyway, and really it's make also the color much better, because this is much color than the other ones. Still okay, and we have to pay a bit of attention about such, but it's not bad. If you think about here you have anyway a model that it's quite intriguing, if you think, because anyway you have the options. The real problem is not the arms that are okay, bit exposed on, but the legs that are the problem. The model about the legs themselves are not bad at all. The real problem is instead not, as I repeat, the legs, but how you can make the leg available, because if you think about these legs are okay, amazing, because they are really quite stable and so on, but at the same time it's not so great, because if you close everything like this you have some problems anyway of stability, even if you don't want. So it's not technically the real best about. At the same time I love such model because it's really quite amazing. And here we can see a comparison of the Volcanicus core against an Imperial Knight of the King Workshop, and we can find that they are really quite similar in size. So it's really something that maybe I could play one of the Volcanicus as a sort of one of Imperial Knight army. It would be really quite nice, at least for once, to say, okay, I have a really special leading model in my army. Okay, it's fun, but really quite amazing. And here we can see Volcanicus against Soundwave, and here we can see that this Voyager model it's almost the same size as all the Volcanicus core, that I quite like sincerely, because they're simply amazing one. Obviously Volcanicus it's much sturdy and so on, but I quite appreciate such thing, because it's a really amazing way to create things. So amazing, really amazing. Volcanicus Pacca Soundwave demolisce. From Dinobot it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.